What is happening, gang? It's your boy Retro, back again with another reaction video. Yeah. Today we got a viral clip servicing of Nikki Haley, and I think this one may have just done it, ending her campaign, guys. I know we had just seen the other day the debunking of the whole Nikki Haley being Trump's running mate, the rumor that we've been seeing going around. I mean, as we suspected, no one was really buying that story or getting behind it. It was the establishment media that had been pushing this narrative, trying to get people to believe that Trump would actually lean towards an establishment-backed candidate like Nikki Haley. Excited to check out this viral clip. May have just done it, sealed the deal for Nikki Haley, forcing her to drop out for good, guys. So we're going to get straight into the clip, and I'll get my thoughts on the back end, guys. So definitely stick around to the end so you guys get my thoughts on the back end of the video. Well, let's get straight into it, guys. Before we do that, though, make sure you guys smash that like button, guys. It does not cost a thing. Hit that like button for your boy, and also hit that subscribe button, guys. We're on the road to the truth. Hop aboard for the journey. Let's get into it, y'all.
Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind. The Nikki Haley story continues, or actually, the Nikki Haley story might have just ended. At least the story of her 2024 presidential campaign. Crabs in a bucket, folks, crabs in a bucket. It seems as though all the Republican candidates challenging Donald Trump, who initially came on the stage real strong, delivering a strong anti-Trump message, why he's such a threat to democracy, have slowly started to change course. I'd argue even doing a complete 180. Realizing it was all a futile endeavor, it seems as though they've now turned on each other, with Nikki Haley, or as Vivek calls her, Dick Cheney in 6-inch heels, as the main target. I've been pretty clear throughout this whole primary process that I think Ron DeSantis ran a pretty poor campaign. I think the term lackluster is probably the best way to describe it, but I'll give credit where credit is due. Ron DeSantis' most recent campaign ad targeting Nikki Haley goes seriously hard. I'd even argue that Ron DeSantis is currently in the process of ending Nikki Haley's career. Let me show you guys exactly what I mean by that. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so I think probably most of us have come to the same conclusion, or at least a similar conclusion. The more exposure to Nikki Haley we get, the more she comes off as a flip-flopper, as disingenuous, as just saying whatever she needs to say in the moment, your typical politician. Well, it seems as though Ron DeSantis feels the exact same way. He just released this scathing ad.
You are a flip-flopper on the Donald Trump issue. You're basically the new John Kerry.
I would not run if President Trump ran. I'm Nikki Haley, and I'm running for president.
Criticizing her former boss, telling Politico in an extensive new piece, quote, "I don't think he's going to be in the picture. I don't think he can. He's fallen so far. We need to acknowledge he let us down. He went down the path he shouldn't have, and we shouldn't have followed him, and we shouldn't have listened to him."
We should not want to go back to the Republican Party before Trump.
Donald Trump is everything we hear and teach our kids not to do.
Do you think that the president's misunderstood?
I do think he's misunderstood. I can tell you from the first day to the last day that I worked for the president, he always listened. I still consider him a friend today.
Don't say you're just going to build a wall, because a wall is not going to do it. It's not a real border. It's not a border at all. We need to finish what we started. Whether it's this or this, we need something. But a chain link fence.
You said Trump, quote, will be judged harshly by history. He went down a path he shouldn't have, and we shouldn't have followed him.
Talk about you as vice president, and I know what you're going to say. I don't play for second. I got it. I've seen the line. Are you going to rule it out?
I don't play for second.
I knew you were going to say that.
It's offensive when anybody says that, oh, she wants to be vice president.
But you're not going to rule it out because you're not going to rule it out.
It's not even a conversation, and it doesn't matter what candidate wants me to answer it. I don't play for second. I don't know what more I can say than to get them to understand that.
Boy, I love flashbacks. I swear I love nothing more than flashbacks. And this is exactly what I keep referencing with Nikki Haley. She has absolutely no conviction. She literally just licks her finger and tries to see where the wind is blowing and goes that direction. The clip that I generally reference, but I never really play it, was what she said post-January 6th. She was the first politician to throw Trump under the bus, and this came after massive speculation that she was gearing up for a presidential race and that donors were getting behind her. That's exactly how it came off. Then, of course, when it backfired, once she realized that voters simply weren't just going to capitulate to Nancy Pelosi's little psyop, she started to reverse course. And that honestly is most of Nikki Haley's career. We all remember when she committed to not running against Donald Trump, Then, of course, that's exactly what she did. You know, how are you ever supposed to trust a politician like that? If I don't know where you stand on most issues because you keep saying different things, or you're saying one thing then doing another when elected, saying one thing when it's politically convenient then switching it once the narrative changes, how could I possibly trust you? It's impossible to trust Nikki Haley. One of the major issues right now on the ballot is the southern border. Nikki Haley, of course, is going to say all of the right conservative things. Blah, 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 Biden border crisis, secure the border, yada, yada, yada. But then there's clips like this that exist.
But let's keep in mind, these people that are wanting to come here, they want to come for a better life too. They have kids too. They have a heart too. So we don't need to be disrespectful. We don't need to talk about them as criminals. They're not. They're families that want a better life, and they're desperate to get here.
They probably should have included that clip in the Ron DeSantis ad. Nikki Haley claims that it's inappropriate to call illegal immigrants criminals. Really? Because I'm pretty sure it's in the name illegal immigrant. You know, the word illegal seems for some reason synonymous with the word criminal. When your first act as you cross over into another nation is illegal, you are by definition a criminal. She then, of course, channels her inner Hillary Clinton, her inner Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, and promotes the Koch brothers message. And so once again, it brings us back to the exact same point. How can anybody possibly vote for her expecting ideological and policy consistency? Obviously not gonna happen. She'll talk the game, she'll talk a good game, but then when push comes to shove, she's gonna be your typical globalist puppet. That's exactly who Nikki Haley is. And that Ron DeSantis campaign really put it all into perspective. In fact, Ron DeSantis has been going on an absolute tear going after Nikki Haley. Some of his rhetoric, I think, is really dead on. It's spot on.
Haley's running for her donors' issues. I'm running for your issue.
You know, it's a perception thing, and I think Ron DeSantis hit the nail on the head. That's the way it feels. Look, it may not be true. Maybe Nikki Haley is super genuine, but I simply don't get that vibe, and I feel like most people feel the exact same way. She feels like an industry plant. Haley campaign says it hauled in $24 million in fourth quarter fundraising. And the question I think most people ask themselves is, how? Who is giving Nikki Haley this money? It certainly isn't a grassroots movement. I'd love to know the average donation size, but I really don't need to because it's obvious that Nikki Haley is supported by major corporate donors. What do we know about major corporate donors? Well, of course, when they donate to your political campaign, they expect something in return, now don't they? Joe Biden described this during his 1970s interview that we played a couple days ago.
To raise $300,000 is no mean feat. And unless you happen to be some sort of anomaly, like myself, being a 29-year-old candidate and can attract some attention beyond your own state, it's very difficult to raise that money from a large group of people. I'm a 29-year-old oddball. The only reason I was able to raise the money is I was able to have a national constituency to run for office. Because I was 29, I'm like the token black or the token woman. I was the token young person. I went to the big guys for the money. I was ready to prostitute myself in the manner in which I talked about it. But what happened was they said, come back when you're 40, son.
And so, of course, the concern with Nikki Haley is, who exactly is backing her? Here are the billionaires backing Nikki Haley as a Trump alternative. LinkedIn's Reid Hoffman, Charles Koch, and more. LinkedIn's Reid Hoffman is a vehement anti-Trump Democrat, the same Democrat who had to apologize after funding a group that allegedly spread misinformation in an Alabama Senate race. The same Reid Hoffman funding E. Jean Carroll's case against Donald Trump. Now we're supposed to believe that Nikki Haley is going to be a MAGA ally. If elected president, give me a break. And then, of course, Charles Koch. The same Koch brothers who want open borders and amnesty so they can keep importing cheap labor. Not exactly confidence-inspiring if you're interested in having a secure southern border. And also really add some context to the clip that I played earlier now, doesn't it? Very simply, Nikki Haley can't be trusted. She's not a grassroots politician. There's no grassroots movement behind her. She's clearly inauthentic. She's an industry plant. And Ron DeSantis' fiery ad might have just ended her campaign.
Yo, there we have it, guys. Coming from our friend Liberal Hive Mind. Definitely going to be sure to leave that original video link down in the description box below for those of you who want to go over there and check that out. And also for you guys to go over there and show our friend Liberal Hive Mind some love. Wow, oh wow, guys. Did we see Ron DeSantis come out swinging for the fences in that new campaign ad against Nikki Haley, guys? Glad to see, you know, someone standing up, having a backbone against the establishment-backed candidate that is Nikki Haley. Nikki Haley has been known to be a habitual liar. We've seen this, you know, time and time again, where she'll bend on situations in order to appease the crowds. She doesn't have a solid stance. Her politics are not solid or not set in stone. She bends on so many issues. And honestly, it's to, you know, appeal to her donor class. Glad to see Ron DeSantis stepping up and challenge her. We seen that clip where he said, Nikki Haley is, you know, she's for her donors, guys. At the end of the day, she's for her donors. All of her policies, all the things that she's going to say are going to appeal to her donors. As we see in that incoming donations report, Nikki Haley raking in over $24 million, guys, for that fourth quarter. We're not seeing any other candidates. I would love to see the comparison on the other candidates, see how much, you know, they're bringing in as far as donation revenue. That right there alone lets us know that she is actually an establishment-backed candidate, if not the largest establishment-backed candidate. This just draws me to wonder how people actually thought that Donald Trump would pick Nikki Haley as his running mate or his vice president, guys, just based on the way we've seen her in the past times, you know, bending and folding, especially on Donald Trump. You know, she was the first to condemn him after J6. She has shown herself not to be truly trustworthy, and definitely not who she says she is. I tell you what Nikki Haley is. We've seen this time and time again. Nikki Haley is a mouthpiece for her donor class, guys. There is no other reason why she would be flip-flopping on all these stances, guys. It's very simple, guys. Nikki Haley believes in what her donors believes in. She'll say just about anything to get elected into office, and then once she's in office, everything will change. And we can already kind of see that. Nikki Haley's past actions alone have shown that she is not trustworthy, and she is not going to be a part of that America First movement, guys. Definitely, you know, still leaning towards more of a Tucker Carlson figure. Even if he drops out, we've got Vivek Ramaswamy, we've got Marjorie Taylor Greene. We've got so many different options. Yo, definitely hop in the comment section, guys, and let me know your thoughts. Did Ron DeSantis just seal the deal on Nikki Haley, guys, by exposing the truth, the real truth on Nikki Haley in his ad campaign, guys? Definitely let me know your thoughts. Also, make sure you guys smash that like button, guys. It does not cost a thing. Hit that like button for your boy, and also hit that subscribe button, guys. We're on the road to the truth. Hop aboard for the journey. I'll catch you guys on next one week.